You're the guy from the wreck, the island, the show on the island, right? And I go, yeah.
Whoa.
And apparently it's like really popular in Africa.
Let me know and I'll go.
I'll go. Yeah.
I'll go.
I'll go with you. Let's go.
Let's
Safari?
tour this podcast.
Let's do this tour. Yeah. This episode, I am so pumped. This is one of my comedy brothers. We were on a show together, Wrecked, which I mentioned earlier. It was on for 3 years on TBS. Then it was on HBO, and then it just got deleted. Some shows just got randomly deleted during the strike. This was one of them. George BASIL is one of the most incredible comedic actors I have ever witnessed live. He has an ability to do things and adapt things with a script and with performance that as a comedic actor myself, when I see people, there's certain people that you'll see and you'll be like, oh my God, this is like undeniable. And so, I mean, his resume speaks for himself. He's been on, we were on Rec together. He was on Barbie. He was on that Judd Apatow HBO show, Crashing, which was great. He was on the Netflix show, Santa Clarita Diet. He was on Curb Your Enthusiasm. And in this episode, we both talk about auditioning for Curb Your Enthusiasm. He has an incredible story about being on a plane with Larry David and Larry David getting into an injury, which scared the shit out of everybody. I tell him about going on a trip to Africa and weirdly Wrecked, the show that we were on, being like crazy popular and it being bootlegged. And we talk about him working on Barbie, and also the skill set that he has developed through coming up through improv, and how that sort of affected his ability and talents as a comedic actor, and how that kind of talent is more sought after than traditionally in acting. Improvisers are more sought after than just straight up stand-up comedians, and we get into why. And also him being Greek and his family moving, to America and then moving back to Greece, and then him just living in America. He's an incredible performer, a great buddy of mine, and I'm very excited for you to see this episode. And this episode, as all of them, are directed, produced, and just facilitated by my hot pharmacist brother, Amjad Ali, who's right here. So enjoy the episode. Episode 2. This is the incredible George BASIL. Enjoy. Are both your parents Greek?
Yeah, but my dad's like Greek American. My mom's Greek.
Like born and raised.
Born and raised in a village, not just in Greece, like in a village.
You go back?
Yeah, tons.
You go back once a year?
Try, but I mean,
it's hard now.
I gotta be on TV.
Yeah.
If I'm not on TV,
have you ever tried being on Greek TV?
Mm-mm.
Why not?
Have you tried being on Indian TV?
If I could speak the language better, and honestly, if I was a little bit more famous,
really,
I could
speak the language better. Really?
Yeah, but I'd have to. But mostly it's because I'm not famous enough. Like if I was like Kumail.
Yeah.
Easily, if he wanted to, he could go there.
Is Kumail Pakistani?
He's Pakistani.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd kill him on camera, but it would be fun. You know what I mean?
They'd let him go.
He would get the credit.
Yeah.
It would show up on the IMDb. Yeah.
Final project. Not upcoming
He's like,
project. Upcoming project. Final project.
But yeah, you should. That'd be so fun.
It would be fun. I wonder. It's very weird. I don't know if it's like this on Indian TV.
But if they don't know who you are, that's a different thing.
They don't give a fuck.
They just have to know who you are for them to be like...
No one knows that yet.
It's hard for me knowing that, like, if I went to India and I asked to be on a TV show, they'd be like, eh. But if Snoop Dogg went, they'd be like, immediately.
They'd be like, of course.
Of course Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, but I'm...
Yeah, but they're like,
nah.
You're not Snoop Dogg.
This guy's more famous.
Yeah. Greek TV's interesting, dude. They have like a lot of those variety broadcast shows.
Oh, dude, how funny would that be? If your first televised set was on The America's Got Talent.
I'm like
Greek.
weirdly holding an acoustic guitar. Just being like, I can't play this. I don't know how to do this.
Wow.
It's weird. It's like big spectacle-y shit.
But you speak the language.
I do. I don't, though. I mean, I speak the language. I can sit there and talk to my mom. I can talk to my sister. I can go out and do anything or have things done, right? I can order anything. I can be like, wait, this, can I buy this?
Yeah,
or is this sharp enough?
Spaghetti.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. He thinks that's what knowing the language is just yelling menu items. Pizza. American. iPhone.
Hammer.
Yeah.
There's a lot I can't do, and that's like when they're speaking so
So fast.
They're just like, hey, ah, da, 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 da. It's like, well, I
Yeah.
don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah. No, I mean, I felt the same way. We went to India. Anytime we would go to India, we'd be talking, and we'd be like, one time it was actually really funny. He was in the cab, and he was like, his is the worst out of all of us. Mine's not
Really?
great. His is the worst. My other two brothers older than us, they're
Younger?
incredible.
That's
No.
right.
I'm younger than him,
Okay.
but, education has devastated him. But, studying to become a doctor also devastated him. And also wanting to be a rapper and all that. You kind of divorce yourself from the Indian community.
He's full of scars, dude.
So, but he still has like that confidence because we're all just like, okay, we can kind of talk to our parents and our uncles and whatever, just like you're saying, because there's a certain speed that you don't realize when you're talking to because when your parents and uncles and aunties are talking to you, they're slowing it down for you because we're dumb to them.
Right.
So they're like, hey, like
you're
you're
still a
two.
baby.
You're still a baby. They're like, you want a kiwi? But we think we're like, dude, I'm like, so like your daughter, when she was like 3, probably thought she was like, take me to Wall Street, dude. I'm like, so good at talking.
Yeah.
Everybody gets what I'm saying.
Combos are easy.
So then when we went, we were in a cab, and I go, Amjad. He goes, dude, why are you guys acting like I can't speak? I can speak, dude. And I was like, dude, you can't speak the language. And he goes, yeah, I can speak it. It's so easy. And we get in the car, and I was like, okay, we sit in the car. And guys who drive as their profession,
see a
they're
lot.
they're thousands of people. They're not really particularly interested in like, hey, it's not Uber where they're getting rated based off of their rapport with bedside manner. They're just like, you got in the car. And the culture is like, get in the car. You don't get on a train and like not go all the way to the first car and then knock on it and be like, hello. So you're gonna ask me about my day or something like that. So he gets in the car and we're sitting there and he goes, in the language, which he thinks he's like being so smooth. This is the translation. He goes. This day is good, mister. Don't you see? And the guy literally, but he said it with such confidence and with the volume.
Yeah. Of
that you're like, well, this is obviously I'm gonna open this guy up, get his whole backstory. He said that, makes no sense. Literally sounded like he had head trauma recently. The guy's driving, did not even bother to look into the rearview mirror, heard it, and was like, absolutely not. I cannot even engage with this.
No.
Like when you're in downtown.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody's just screaming some stuff at you, you're like, I cannot engage with this. And so he drove us for like 20 minutes.
Silent.
And I was crying. Crying.
Good.
No acknowledgement. It wasn't even like where someone's trying, because we're not white.
Yeah.
So he was like, well, you guys are just mentally ill, I think.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for someone who looks like you to be so bad at the language.
Yeah.
If we were two white people, he'd be like, oh, okay, like I get.
Sure.
You took a Duolingo,
Welcome. Yeah.
kind of thing. But with him, he was like, you gotta take this guy to an asylum or something. This guy is out of control.
He's trying hard, dude. It ain't working. That's hilarious.
But I get that. Yeah, you can't just go there and just rip it.
No. But my sister can. That's fun to see her, because she didn't move there until she was like 14. So she was raised in the States.
Oh, and then why did she go there when she was 14?
She was 14, because my family was moving back and she was only 14.
Your family moved back?
Yeah, that's when I moved to Texas.
What was the reason there? Just for
assassins. They're assassins. They went to kill. No.
Let's go back to that Kiwi shot.
They went back for, I guess, maybe I can actually talk about it.
Huh.
It's possible.
Do it. We can cut it out if it's not.
Yeah. I mean, it was like work stuff for my dad, but that's why it's like sensitively. Don't
Give
think
him a
about
little wink, huh?
Don't
Some
think
of that
about
work
it.
stuff.
Don't think about it. Blood runs uphill.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Let's just say if there's a movie made about your dad, Jason
Red, white,
Statham.
and blue.
Jason Statham would play your dad.
Jason Statham would play my dad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they'd be like, it's fine, he's not really doing the Greek accent, but still pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, okay,
like,
so then he
grow
went.
a beard, Jason Statham?
And why didn't they
Alright,
take
done.
you?
Because I was like, I'm 19 and I'm going to move and go work at this cool grocery store.
Oh, you're like, guys, I know you guys are going to, with the dollar ratio, I know you guys are going to go live like an episode of White Lotus in Greece.
I know.
But I got to tell you, there's this grocery store.
I think about it. I think about it often. When I tell anybody the story
Wow.
of like, why did I move to Texas
You could
or
be doing
whatever.
like backflips off a cliff.
Definitely, dude. I'd be fit. Olives. I'd be fitter.
You'd be the guy like playing like a guitar at like a hotel lobby.
Yeah, I never would.
And people
cut my long
people
hair.
wouldn't know that like, oh, he's actually like very well to do.
Yeah. No, they'd be
Like,
like,
I'm just a casual guy, just riding a motorized scooter around town.
Yeah. But they'd be like, no, that's one of the richest men in Greece.
But you're like, no, sketch comedy and improv.
Yeah.
Father, let me take improv.
I know what I need.
So you went to New York. So all of your family is in Greece.
Yep.
That's
when I got my big back tattoo. I got it in a friend's backyard in Texas because I missed my family. They were in Greece for like a year or two at that point.
Yeah, that's a big tattoo.
It's a big, ugly tattoo. It's old.
How would you
feels
describe
blasted out. Prison. I feel like...
well, it's not a picture of a prison.
But
it's a picture of one of your favorite prisons?
Yeah.
It's Alcatraz, and then you just put them in it?
It's myself from my view.
No, it's like a structure, right? Like a historical
structure.
structure?
Yeah, it's the Temple of Athena Nike, but... and it's got my mom and my dad and my daughter and my...
like their names?
My sister. No, it has them in sculpture form, which is not...
Oh, that's what those
originally,
are.
It's not on the...
So you're telling me originally they didn't think thousands of years ahead?
Yeah.
And go, there's just going to be this sick-ass guy. He's going to take something called a
He's
UCB
going to try
class.
and try and try and try. He's going to try and try and try and try. But at least he'll have this back tattoo.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty sick. Guys, it's going to pay off. This one's going to pay off.
It's blown out because I got it when I was 21 or whatever. So, I mean, you don't have any tattoos, but...
No tattoos.
When your tattoo gets old and you get...
It kind of fades away, like the memory.
It kind of does this. If it's like a point of black ink, for example, it just goes... And it's just bleeding on your skin.
Oh.
Or at least that's what mine's doing.
So it's kind of like... Not really, but it's like kind of like a sack, and then it just kind of just like...
It's a sack, and it does.
Fades out.
It's a sack that fades.
So now instead of looking like this amazing historical landmark,
it looks like
now,
a Minecraft
like
box.
a bouncy house kind of thing.
Yes, yeah.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Like, this guy's-
it is like a bouncy house.
Yeah.
It's like fluffy looking. It's disgusting.
Let me ask you a question.
That was a long time.
I was talking to my friend about this, about like I have a friend.
Where?
And let's not get into it. Go to the Kiwi shot. Yeah. Cut away. And we were talking about when you start, like for stand up, it's like you have the open mic stuff, right? And so when you start, that's the most amount of people.
Performing? Yeah.
That's the most amount of comics you'll know. Is because it's literally everybody. The people who are like,
waiting.
This is a New Year's resolution. I've been wanting to try this. I know this is going to be my whole life. I want to be an actor, writer, whatever. This is like the biggest cross-section of people. And then we were talking about like every 5 years, that class gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And so now I feel like I'm, 13 years in?
Since you started?
Since I was born. And so since I started, I think, and so it's hard to like factor in COVID years, and but I think it is like 13, 14, and even just looking at open mics, Arizona kind of didn't count, but even just Chicago, and then when I came to LA, that amount of people, it's like, so you have those conversations that I didn't really get when I was in open mics, that when I'd go to shows that people who are older than me would have, of like, hey, you know who I saw yesterday? I saw Rick. And you're like, oh, what happened to that dude? You don't have those conversations when you're in your early 20s. You don't have the, what happened to that dude?
No.
That dude's right here.
Happening.
He's still here.
Yeah. Things are still happening.
But like 10 years later?
Yeah.
What happened to that dude?
I'm a what happened to that dude.
No, you're not.
Watch.
No.
No, yeah.
You're still working. I'm saying you're of that class that, and it's not necessarily a good or bad thing to like leave or stay or whatever. People found their thing, but staying in it is kind of nuts.
Long term? Yeah.
Long term, where you're like, oh, there's only like a handful of people that I know from when I started that are still doing it, for better or for worse.
I don't blame them.
I know. Yeah, that's also another thing. Because when you're in your early 20s, you're like, dude, I would never. You'd have to take this from my fucking dead hands.
And
then you're like, I'm actively doing a podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, here I am in a podcast again. And I also see
I'm
friends...
like, God, just take it away from me.
Okay, one episode's fine. I'll just...
No, but it is like kind of a thing. Like you just get old. You're like, I mean, it's still fun to do, but I feel like there's also thresholds that we have of like, you just have different things in your life, like bills and shit. You can't have 6 roommates.
No.
You can when you're 20.
You sure
It's kind of romantic.
Yeah. It's kind of
like,
cute.
These are my dudes.
Yeah. We roll together. We live together.
I went to New York recently, and I've been to New York.
Yeah, since you were.
No, guys, no, I know it's funny, but I have.
I'm going to show you some pictures.
I'll
you
put
tell
up some
me
pictures.
if it's New York
Yeah, you tell me if
not.
it's New York or not, okay? Toronto does play for New York a lot. Okay, so just don't zoom in or whatever. And that was kind of nuts seeing people who are like, different cities have different rules or whatever, but like seeing just people, full grown-ups, like, yeah, I have 3 roommates.
Yeah.
And you're like, huh? But they're like, I mean, if it doesn't bother you, then who gives a shit?
Big commitment to the game.
Uh-huh.
Like, they're never going to stop. And God bless them.
God bless
I get that, too. I mean, I think that's me, but it might not be. If someone came up to me and was like,
well, would you let me live with you?
Many, many dollars. No. And, like, gave me a way out where they're like, many dollars.
To just dip?
And no boss.
Yeah.
To
well,
dip.
that's kind of getting a job.
Get out of, but with the boss.
Right.
No, mine's very specific.
Oh, if they basically gave you a severance package, like
severance of life.
If Mr. Comedy came and said, "Hey, man,
you
had a good run.
Yeah.
We have this package
you
for you."
almost made it.
But now
you get this package for the next.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Just like a nice little, just covers your basic. We'll cover your phone.
Easy. Yeah, we'll cover phone and internet. How about that? And then whatever
for the next 10 years, depending on how many gigs you use.
Can you write it off? All right.
Yeah.
We'll cover it.
Okay, so you're in New York. How quickly do you feel like you got good?
I did.
Or good enough where you're like, okay, people
Man,
know that I don't suck here.
I felt good.
Good.
Right
Pretty
away.
quickly.
I felt good right away. I mean, I was born built for this shit.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like improv or just being on stage and like feeling that nervousness and then being able to be like, oh, I know where this goes.
Feels
it goes
good.
right out. It shoots out of my mouth.
Yeah.
And like it splatters all over this.
What were those
audience.
nights like?
They were
Like
amazing.
after the shows, what were you guys doing?
We'd go to a place called Walters for beer because it was in Chelsea. The Magna Theater's on 29th and 8th. And so it's like you have Irish Pub 1, Irish Pub 2, Waltz.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And it's
so
fun.
it was just that. And it was
It was
great.
like living in a show.
And it's just like being in New York and living the life of it. But the exhilaration was always the show. Like socializing is great and being like thanks and great and thanks and great. But it wasn't UCB, dude. So it wasn't like real big. Like those fools had fans.
Like the SNL people weren't coming and being like,
Right.
oh my God, we can't wait to pop in on George Basil's show.
Yeah. Nobody with a name came and gave a shit, and that's okay.
But you guys were doing good work, and that's what you cared about.
I mean, yeah, I'd say we were doing better work than most.
Wow.
Think about it.
And
yeah, you better drop that mic because I'm going to eat a kiwi whole with the spikes for saying some innocuous shit like that. We were the best in the business, Asif.
and nobody could take that away from us.
And nobody could.
Ask any of the homeless people.
Local improv gangs, beware.
What this is inside baseball, but I feel like I get a lot of messages from people when people run into me. My DMs and stuff are not what I would like them to be.
Exclusively.
You know, they're not like where I want them to be. It's a lot
that.
of
Man.
it's it's a lot of dudes asking for career advice.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with that.
Right,
know?
yeah, but what is the advice? How can you give someone
And so
the
some
advice
of
just
some
like,
of them
good
are
luck,
like
pal.
One of them
Keep
was
trying,
like
don't stop.
one of them was like how do you know if improv is like if the scene is going well?
Oh. Like like an active scene on stage. How do you know if it's going well?
How do you know if it's going well?
You're fucked already.
Right?
Yeah.
I didn't know how to tell him that.
If you're even thinking about if it's
that means
going
his
well.
experience was I was bombing,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to check up on you.
Yeah, and be like,
check up with you and be like,
how do you know if I'm bombing?
I'm going to get a second opinion on this scene.
Yeah. It's a tough one. It's not
It's hard.
stand-up. It's not something that's correctable easily. Like if you had a bit and you went out tonight
and it bombed.
And you did it and it bombed. And then you were like, there's something there. I'm going to work it.
Yeah.
And then you went out tomorrow night and you did it and it bombed, but
Yeah.
it didn't bomb as hard.
Uh-huh.
And you worked it and you worked it. You could turn that into a piece of fucking brilliance.
Sure. Because like the nugget, I can be like, well,
You just
it's just
refine it.
I can make a different approach
Yeah.
to this.
The only thing that you get on an improv stage is this right now. That. And it's good or it's bad or it's neither. Like the thing about when we were doing 4-track shows, there were nights that it was full and it was like calamity. Like a little 70-seat theater was erupting because we were doing shit that felt in the moment,
visceral,
completely, and
Yeah.
real, and
Yeah.
like exciting and crazy. And you can do that
yeah.
with stand-up, but you got to be really good. You don't have to
Yeah.
be good to do that with improv. You can be a fucking idiot, and it works.
What was your thing? Oh, same could be said about stand-up.
Yeah, it's
What was your thing?
We
I feel like
matched
every improviser I feel like has like, okay, that's the guy that does great object work. This guy does great characters. This guy does whatever. What was yours?
Man, I don't know. I think I'm good at mad.
Oh,
I'm
angry.
Good angry.
Yeah, I'm good yeller too.
Yeah.
You get me
It's
fucking.
good. You yell at.
You get this guy going up. People love that.
I forgot to turn the music off. Don't matter.
Gives a shit, dude.
Young.
I will pay whoever this is
For
out of my
all
own
of it.
pocket. This first episode is going to cost roughly in the ballpark $200,000.
He paid to the trusts of dead jazz musicians that are no longer with us.
There's someone who playing saxophone. Their great granddaughter is about to buy a Tesla. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like something called a podcast. Really paid in.
Yeah, mine was yelling. But also mine was like really trying to get into the nitty-gritty of like, I would yell, but I would also be like trying to figure out the math, and it took a while for me to, because that's what stand-up is, trying to figure out the math of the this and then this all goes together and then makes the whatever. It makes the punchline or whatever. These, I need to go here to get to here.
Yeah.
But with improv, you kind of can't. That was the hard thing for me of like trying to stop over analyzing it and just.
Yeah.
It's got to be loose.
That's all there is. Yeah. It's like you got no improv rehearsal, for example, being what it is, where it's just like we play games, we connect. It's like you're at best you're just trying to rhythmically sort of unify people on this group or whatever, on this team.
Did you find that you when you worked with people you could do scenes with everybody, or is it like kind of immediate where you get on stage and you're like, oof, this isn't gonna work?
I liked doing scenes with everybody, but there are certain people that are just hard as hell to do scenes with that are still funny as shit, like talented, funny people, but
you have to like work around them.
Yeah. Often the thing that they're great at is so specifically them.
Yeah.
That when they come out and present or perform or initiate or do whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, so them, you have to kind of bend.
So you have to adjust around them.
Yeah.
But that's like a good thing to learn, because then when you came, this is why like.
Also, stealing from them is a good thing to learn, my dude.
Like from their car.
Yes. And while they are on stage,
while you're
you are in their
on stage.
pocket. You're in their bags and shit.
Oh, sure, you crushed the show tonight, but guess who stole your laptop?
Guess what? Your shit's gone, ain't it?
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah. You didn't back it up. That's on you.
See you at the Apple Store.
Yeah.
Because you're going to buy me a hard drive. But what I mean by stealing, it's different. Theft is, I think, artistic with improv in a way.
Like you're learning little tips and tricks.
Yeah, because like if you say a joke in stand-up and I say even a remotely similar joke with the right timing and shit, that's theft. And I should be drawn and quartered.
I'll let you have it, though, for a couple Kiwis.
Yeah. Sticking in a kiwi. A kiwi, a joke. But in improv, like the guy that I'm actually thinking in my head right now from New York had like big glasses.
Yeah.
Weird curly hair. Sweaty all the time.
The Six Flags guy?
Rippity. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, when he was young.
Oh, okay. He was doing coke.
He was doing coke in New York. Oh, shit.
Yeah. But
that's him. Strange.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
He said Great America.
And just like sent flag emojis. Weird
gifts.
He
just dropped a location. It's always Six Flags.
Heard you talking about me.
Meet me here.
And I remember him coming out, and his like initiations would always be very, almost like to himself. He'd be speaking to himself or something.
Oh.
And it was often like odd timing.
Really left field weird stuff.
Yeah, and like bizarre, like perpendicular shit.
Yeah.
And if I have something that comes across like script wise or some shit, and I'm reading it, and my brain thinks of him, or my brain thinks of him performing it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a leg up. I can be like, wait, I remember him, and this is for him, but I'm going to do it, you know?
I mean, my experience of working, we did a show called Wrecked.
Yes, we did. You can't find it on the internet, but you can if you have it on VHS.
They straight up deleted it.
Yeah, and we'll never, ever see
It's not even on Amazon, dude.
It's
I
not
looked
on
it up.
anything.
I was talking to another friend.
Uh-huh.
Guys,
There's 2.
I just want to make it clear. I do have friends.
There's 2.
There's a lot of rumors on the internet that I don't know anybody, and
But
I pay all my podcast guests a lot of money to pretend that we have some sort of backstory. But I assure you, we have friends. Cut to the QE, please. But I was talking to a friend, and they were like, "So, what show have you ever been on another show?" Because the show that I'm on, they were like, "Oh, is this your first time like being a series regular on a show?" And I go, "No, I actually was on a show called Wrecked on TBS, but then they put it like on HBO back when it was HBO Max or whatever." And they're like, "Oh, okay, I can't wait to see it." And I go, "Yeah, I'm sure you can find it, whatever." And they're like, "It's not on HBO." And I go, "Is it on like Amazon?" And they're like, "It says it's on Amazon. Like the picture is there, but you can't buy anything."
Yeah, I think it's scrubbed. I think it's one of the.
They scrubbed it.
It's like off. It's off.
I have a bootleg version of it. I went on vacation
really?
to Africa.
Did you? And they have Wrecked?
They had In fact, that's the only time I got recognized to that
in
extent.
Africa.
Yeah.
Wow.
We went to like this. This person was like, I was at a dinner and they're like, "Do I know you from something?" And I always assume they like think I'm like Aziz Ansari or something like that. Which more often than not they do.
You're
think
just
that
like I'm Aziz Ansari.
And they're like, "Well, you're not him." And I go, "All right." And
so you said I was.
Yeah, it's crazy. And they're like, "What show were you on?" And I go, "Oh, I've been on blah blah blah." But then when I said Wrecked, they're like,
"Wait,
yes, you're
really?
the guy from the Wreck, the island, the show on the island, right?" And I go, "Yeah."
Whoa.
And apparently it's like really popular in Africa.
Let me know and I'll go.
I'll go. Yeah.
I'll go.
I'll go with you. Let's go.
Let's
Safari?
tour this podcast.
Let's do this tour. Yeah. I was in Uganda at that time, and they were, and then I went to like this bootleg video store.
Oh yeah.
And
we went to some of those in Fiji too.
Yeah.
I remember those.
And nobody recognized us in Fiji.
No.
While we were shooting in Fiji, they're like, "Get out of here, dude."
Like, we're not sure.
And so I went and I was like, yeah. Do you guys have Wrecked? And she was like, yeah. And then she gave it to me, and she was like, wait.
Oh wow.
Are you the guy from Wrecked? And I go, yeah. And she goes,
what the
why
fuck
are you
doing?
here? Because it was like in like a regular strip mall. It wasn't like some sort of like touristy kind of place.
That's cool.
And I go, I came here
For Wrecked.
I needed this. And yeah, she gave me the thing, and I think I like signed some
sweet.
stuff.
Man, I don't know.
But she really was just baffled. She was like, why? I know he said because he's like on vacation, but why? Because in her mind, if you're, and this is like kind of, again, with people that DM me, they assume you get on a show and like, oh my God.
Dude, people assume
I'm
it
in a
from one line
limousine.
in Barbie. People are just like, what did I just see you in? Wait.
You were in
Barbie! And I'm like,
you're like, I had one, it was a one day.
Yeah. One day they gave me one paycheck, and it was a
That's
paycheck.
it.
One.
Yeah,
they gave me $1.
And you had to bring your own food.
Yeah, they would not feed me. They made sure to cut me before lunch because I can't be in a tent with the superstars.
Yeah, they didn't want you cross-contamination.
No,
yeah, but they assume it's that. So I think that lady assumed that, like, oh my God, you're on Wrecked. You must be like a billionaire. You probably own 40 acres of land in LA. You have your own like horses and you have like 2-3 wives and 14
and
kids.
here you are in Namibia.
Yeah,
Why? Why? You're like,
why? And you're here in Uganda negotiating.
Like,
why are you haggling with me?
You talked her down on Wreck DVDs.
And I go, man, I'm just taking money out of my own pocket at this point. What are we doing?
Like, I could report you, but I'm not.
A lot of the things that you've worked on, it has been a lot of improv. Is that because they want you to? They hire you specific? You feel like they hire you specifically for improv,
No.
or because you get there and they go, oh well, this guy's just not gonna say the lines.
It's that.
Yeah, because Rex was kind of like
they
that.
They called me out. Yeah, Rex was like that. The kids were like the
Shipley brothers. Yeah,
They
shout out to Shipley brothers, incredible work.
Sorry,
it's just unavailable.
Yeah, we're really sorry they scrubbed it.
But I can get you a copy of those DVDs. It isn't 720p. They did not have 4K. Yeah.
Oh no, it only plays on certain TVs. No HDMI.
It only plays on a PS2. Weirdly.
I remember them telling Alethea, the awesome director that came. Jones, she was Aussie or she was Kiwi?
Alethea was a director.
Yeah, but where's she from?
She's from
Aussie.
I don't know. I don't know if she is. Yeah.
We won't say.
Yeah,
okay, we won't say.
Yeah, we won't say. We'll keep that to ourselves.
Yeah.
That's a new thing. That's a new way to say, well, you don't know anything. Say, I'm going to keep that one to myself.
Yeah, that's what I say
Like,
about
what's
war.
his last name? I'm going to keep that to myself.
I'll just have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. That's for me. That's what I say. And that's for me to
Oh,
know.
you make it combative.
Yeah.
That's actually for me.
I'll have
it.
I'll hold that. Alethea, wonderful woman and
wonderful.
great director. And I remember the first scene we did together. It was like in a cave or some shit. And I'm like standing there in nothing,
Yep,
you know,
yep.
like all the Fiji.
Like a loin. Yeah.
Just loin shit. And I walk into a cave and I say something to somebody. Maybe
I remember exactly. This is like season 2. I believe.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
And I remember her in Video Village with the boys, and then like they're watching it, and I do the first take, and then she's like, "Okay, good. All right, let's try again." And then I do the second.
Wow,
take.
you're really doubling down on the Australian thing.
I hope she is. I hope she is. Meanwhile, she's from like Thailand.
I'm from Texas.
Yeah. She's like, I'm normal.
Yeah.
I'm American. And I remember after the second one, she was like, "Oh, I could feel that she was maybe a little bit like, how do I have?" And so I walk over and I can see her about to say it to me, and then she's like saying it
To them.
to the Shipleys, and she's like, "How do I get that?
How do I get this
And
guy to say
then,
the lines?
Bless their heart, they were both just like, "Yeah,
He figures it out.
he's gonna do it. Yeah, if you need something,
That was pretty early on.
he'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was her first day with me anyway. So
But I mean, your thing there, it was pretty early on that like
that's
George
how I was
will
gonna go.
will be in the vicinity of the lines.
Yeah, but again,
But
if
it's always
you need-
better.
Always.
No, the script so funny.
No.
Let him sit in that. Let him
Wait.
sit in that. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
wiped off the internet. Why? I
Turns
made it
out
all
George
up.
was so good. His performance was so good.
can't
The
handle it.
executives got together and they go, "We literally cannot have one more person see this. We must delete this."
We don't own him.
Yeah.
his
We are
lines.
rescinding all rights to this.
That's great. But I remember saying it, and then
But the scripts
they
were really,
kinda-
really funny.
Yeah.
And your thing was kind of like what Reese Darby did on the show.
Yeah. He
Like
learned
taking-
it from me for sure.
and
Reese
then-
learned it. Reese has studied
And
me
then,
and my
then
approach
kind
to
of like
acting for a decade.
putting your little thing on it. But also, your guys' characters were built for that.
Yeah.
They were not like exposition
Yeah. And they weren't yeah.
delivery systems.
They weren't specific like
They were like, this is happening, and then we cut to you, and it's like
sidewall bullshit.
insane
crazy
shit.
Yeah.
Which is fun. Is that
Yeah.
Is
I
that what you
love it.
prefer?
I don't prefer it. I like working every single day, like we were just talking about.
Well,
I
yeah.
like waking up and then being like, "Hurry, we have to go to set because you're crying today." And you're
Oh, you prefer
like,
to do
"I
that kind
am?
of stuff?
That's right. That's today.
Versus like being that guy that they come in, knock out a couple scenes, and then leaves.
Yeah. I'm
You want
tired
to
of
be
that.
there every day.
I like it.
So wait,
I like
you want to
being
make money?
there. Yeah, I want to make more than anybody though.
That's news to me, dude.
I want to point them all out and be
I
like,
thought you
more
liked
than
struggling.
more than you.
Weird.
Why do you like it so much?
Interesting.
But I
So you don't like spending all day just cutting up little fruits?
I did like cutting this fruit. I almost cut those blueberries in half.
It is.
just 'cause
It
they're
is
big.
though. It is though. Like for the show that I'm for Deli Boys
Yeah.
is the first time in my life I've ever been.
That top shit. Yeah.
Top shit.
Not
But-
top shit in a sense of hierarchy, but top shit in the
No,
sense
no,
of
I made it into a
need.
thing. No,
I screamed it.
No, I showed
No,
up
they
and
know.
I said,
Yeah.
I said, who wants it? And I would say that before the safety meeting.
Yeah.
And
thing.
you know,
He
oftentimes a new day player, or somebody in the crew would approach and try to maybe take the throne from me,
Ugh.
and I would beat his ass.
So many people taking the throne.
Beat his ass.
Oh, it's in your right.
Yeah, I'd beat
that
his ass.
point.
Yeah.
You take the call sheet, you like smash
Yeah.
it into his face.
Mhm.
You're like,
no,
read
but I
numbers.
would do a thing where it's like, being in that position, you do get to be funny, but a lot of it is
Holding it
information
down.
delivery,
Yeah, totally.
and like, we need you to do a bunch of things, which is very, very fun.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I'll see like this guy Jake who's Chicago, super funny,
And he
You
just
come in,
rolls in,
pop
knocks it
in,
out.
and then
Home.
peace, goodbye.
Yeah.
Which
we've
it's
done
like
that.
they're both very, very fun. That's
For
what we did
sure.
on Rec.
We've done that.
Come
We've
in,
done that.
pop, get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here. But it is a different kind of wholeness to be like, I'm a part of of that part of it,
And
and
big
the
part.
exposition part of it,
Yeah.
and the sort of heart part of it. You do leave being like, I have a more sort of complete
Understanding
experience.
of
But
it.
as far as pure comedy is concerned, the switch hitter guy
yeah,
is coming, just smashing
snipers
and bouncing. There's
yeah.
legit snipers.
It's true.
Boom, boom, boom.
It's-
I'm
yeah,
out.
Totally.
But then the issue in this business is like, unless you're working,
You ain't sniping.
you'd have to be booking
Sniper after sniper.
You'd have to
after
be doing
sniper.
like 70 jobs a year for
Dude,
that to be worthwhile.
Also, it's easy to get thrown off because like when I did Curb 5 years ago,
Yeah.
and it got cut out because
Why did they cut it out?
Because it was probably bad.
No. Why did
I'd
it feel?
imagine.
Dude, can we talk about the audition?
It felt The audition was
I
fun.
auditioned twice for Curb. The second time I got it,
Yeah.
I couldn't do it because it conflicted with like a different show thing that I had to do.
Correct.
The Curb audition is unique in that, unlike any other audition, you don't get sides. Every other audition you do, you'll get sides. Curb is the only one where you get this little tiny little slip of paper. It's like a fortune, like a fortune cookie, and they go, "What's your role?"
You're a mechanic,
And they
you
go,
busted your toe the other
Here, take
day
one of
in
these
your
and they have them little slips, and you take it and you go, yeah. Mine was you're driving an ambulance, and you're behind Larry, and then you turn on your sirens to just go through the intersection, and then he sees you at a coffee shop, and you guys have like an altercation about him feeling like you're abusing it. And so that was the second one I auditioned for, and the first time it was like, it's weird because you go in and you get this, and you're like, well, who's gonna be in there? And you go in there and it's like
Him.
Larry David.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit! Like, when else do you have your first audition?
Totally.
It's like having your first audition for Iron Man and you're reading with Robert Downey Jr. And he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna sit in with every single
I don't have
person.
anything to do today.
I have nothing to do
You're in
today.
Santa Monica. I live in Venice. How's that? How
So-
nice.
So you read with him, and if you can make him laugh, then you're like, ah. And it was the most amazing.
I had fun too. It
Oh,
was the same
so
thing.
fun. The
It was
second
like-
time, I crushed. I was so
Yeah.
happy. But then scheduling, man, I really wish I could have.
Cops are coming. You ready?
Oh shit.
Guns are under the table.
Oh fuck.
Scream the whole time. That's the only way that they're gonna.
All right.
That's the only way they hear us.
Just make sure you back up the footage. This is
All right,
most
ready?
important. My last message to the people out there: don't believe the government.
Curb was tough. I had a good audition. And don't stop barking,
Hey,
guys.
you gotta stop barking.
You
bro.
gotta go lay down.
Aw.
No. You go lay down right now. Go lay down. Stop barking at the podcast.
Yeah. He knows that we don't have any ads. He's like, I gotta fill up the space.
He's like, this is rough.
Yeah, I gotta fill up the space.
Rough.
Yeah, no ads here. Yeah, no ad reads.
I had a great.
You had a great read
audition.
with him.
He's laughing.
Yeah,
They're all laughing.
Yeah,
Things are laughing.
God,
Get
nothing
emails.
feels better, right?
No, it's true.
Nothing feels better.
But I don't watch the show. I didn't know what to expect.
I'm obsessed.
I just fucking go in and I have fun.
Yeah.
Right? It's like
That's
how
your
I
deal.
show up on set.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, George just shows up.
I'm like, I know what you kind of want, but
He's like,
you,
what is this show?
Yeah, yeah. It's like a movie,
Yeah,
a show.
Okay, got it.
All right, fine.
Got it.
Was it half an hour?
Uh-huh.
All right. X-rate, F-rate.
Yeah.
Well,
Then you get really deep into technical things.
yeah. What's the rate?
Yeah, what's
like,
your
how many
focus pull on
keynotes?
this? Yeah.
You got a bunch of keynotes?
Yeah.
1600s? There's the fun time. It's fun. Then emails come in that are just like,
So
you were
glowing.
great.
Ah.
You were so great. He loves you. He loves you. You're ordained by the fucking thing. And then it's like, you got the job. And you're like, great. And you show up to shoot it. And it's like, and again, it's gonna sound like I'm complaining, but I'm not. I'm just regretting.
Yeah.
Out loud. It's like, hey, come on out to Ontario. You know where that is?
Mm-hmm.
Hour.
Yeah.
From here.
Yeah.
Hour from anywhere.
Yeah.
Ontario is the center of the hour.
God, I love Ontario.
Drive there.
Dry
At
place.
7. Dry home. Yeah.
So you get there.
Get there. This is 6 a.m.
Yeah.
We shoot at 3 p.m.
Uh-huh.
And I'm already done for the day. I can't do anything. I'm done. I just spent fucking 14 hours
Yeah.
solo, sad, just sitting, wondering.
Did they shoot the scene?
They shot the scene, but
How
it was
long did
like,
it take?
2 hours.
Okay.
But in that 2 hours, I swear to you, I was falling asleep.
Because you were so tired.
Yeah. Just from like, you get me up, you lock me in a trailer.
You didn't get out. I feel like you're a roamer. You're not a
I
roamer?
walk a little, but no, it was an airport.
Oh.
And so it was like, the wing was shut down.
Yeah, you had to buy a ticket to go.
Yeah, and I needed a TSA pre-check, or I'm waiting in line to get to set.
Yeah.
It was just weird. It was like, and then the performance was, again, because
Kind
of
of
that,
still. It felt
flat.
stilted. And
No, he's
flat.
not laughing anymore. They're not laughing anymore. And I'm just like,
You think he knew while he was shooting? Like, we're probably gonna cut this.
Yeah.
in. And so but he's already here. We gotta get there.
So he's like, we got to hurry up. And that poor bastard hit his head because it's shot in an airplane. And Larry David, genius he is, any of us, whoever we are. You hit your head.
Oh, he hit his head on that thing. Oh, that day's over.
That day's over.
70-year-old man hitting his head.
Red
Your
like
day's over.
red like
Yeah.
red. It just went like and it's a
Do,
airport
do, do, do,
full
do, do, do.
of extras, full
Yeah.
of actors, full of everything. Begley Jr.'s sitting.
Love
like,
Ed Begley Jr.
couple seats over.
Yeah.
Scenes are in the middle of going. They're feeling it out, and then between one of them, he just goes and stands
Dunk.
up, and it's like, whack!
Oh, like he got up.
He stood up to leave, and he like hit his poor head, and then his whole body turned blood red, and it was like the air of an airplane just goes.
It
People
was
were
like
just like.
It was like if you were on a real flight and the pilot was like, "We are gonna crash."
yeah. Without the pandemonium, it was just like, guys, don't freak out.
Yeah, it's like if your airplane was gonna crash, but also Larry David was on the plane.
yeah.
Like,
It's
this
like
is going
we're
down,
all sad. Larry
but-
David's about to crash with us. Let's all just be quiet while we crash and Larry David comes. It's sad.
Oh my God. Okay, but working on Wrecked was so fun.
That was so.
It was such a blast. First season Puerto Rico, second, third
Fiji.
Fiji. Can you still believe it?
Luckies.
We shot
No,
in
dude.
Fiji.
No, I want it.
I mean,
I not for everything that you passed out in Puerto Rico from the sun, but Fiji, as hot and sunny,
I loved it.
it just didn't matter. I remember
God.
burning my scalp. It
I
was,
came
like,
back
so
every time and people were like,
equatorially-
"Are you pregnant?"
Yeah,
Because I was just glowing.
yeah. They're like, how much shrimp did you eat, bro?
Bro.
And you're like, all of it.
I'm 80% ceviche, dude.
Yeah,
I was
nah.
eating clean.
Touch me.
God.
It doesn't squish. And we
So
were
you did
going to
that,
the
and then
gym all
at the
time.
same time we're getting jacked, we're getting swole.
Same
And
time
then
crashing.
You did crashing
Uh-huh.
in New York.
Yep.
What is it like working with the guy?
That was fun because of the
Mr. Apatow.
Judd Apatow. I mean, it's like you were talking about improv.
Yeah, he loves that.
Yeah.
God.
It's fucking
So you
great. And it's so fun because it's the way that I like to do it where it's like, I'll give you, let's start. Take one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Take two. It gets refined a little bit. Take three is a little refined. But in between these, he's like,
Like that.
yeah. Just
that
like
back in, put that back
highlighting
in.
things,
Yeah.
bringing things back. Like in the first season, or I guess it's the pilot, like Pete and I were laying in a bed in a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And there's burgers and fries. And so initially, I think the idea was like, you guys are in a hotel, you're
Yeah.
snacking and
Yeah.
you're talking. But instead, he was in a laying position, which made me feel like he was depressed,
Yeah.
which worked fucking great.
Yeah.
And then the burgers and fries props came and put them at the foot of the bed. And so I'm like laying there and I'm like, fries and burger way out of reach. Like,
Way out of reach.
I can't.
They're
I'm
just
not-
at your feet.
They're at my feet.
Yeah.
And so I grabbed a fry and like hoisted it up with my foot and put it in my hand and ate it in a rehearsal, I think. Or I did it between takes and he saw it and he was just like,
Love that. Keep that.
keep eating fries with your feet. And I was like, okay, done. Like, happy to.
Yeah.
But everything about that show and that dude and Pete and everybody in it was so good.
Did you like being back in New York?
I loved it. And then to go from like Fiji to New York, you're like, dude, this is my year.
And to be working in New York, because I kind of had that with Deli Boys in that, like,
yeah.
I was in
Chicago's a
Chicago,
good town to work.
and then, but I wasn't, like, working. I was just, like, baby comedy person. Then I moved to L.A., and then to go back
with work.
and, like, kind of, like, be in the same neighborhoods
Yeah.
when I was, like, a little baby.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, man, I'm, like, doing the thing that when I was doing comedy here and open mic stuff, I was like, man, wouldn't it be so cool to like be on a TV show or something like that? And
And
like,
be here.
I'm doing it
Yeah.
here.
I know. I've cried because of it. I
Yeah.
remember going on runs in New York
Yeah.
because I was I was staying in Williamsburg
Uh-huh.
when we were shooting that because the studios were right there, really close.
Yeah.
And that's where I spent a lot of time when I lived there.
Yeah.
I never lived in Williamsburg, but baby mama did, so I
Yeah.
was there a bunch making babies. And
You
then
made
to
one.
be there making one, yeah. Yeah, I only made one.
It's a good one, though.
Yeah, she's a
kid.
good one.
Good kid.
Good one. You haven't seen her lately. She's a little shittier.
What does that mean?
She's just 15. So
She's like, I hate my
kid.
dad.
Yeah, she's kind of like.
Well, she loves you.
Yeah, no, she does. She doesn't say she hates me. She loves me.
But
But it's hard. Kids
they're just testing boundaries.
dude, they get quiet and just like
Yeah. And you're like,
somber.
You don't want to walk with me anymore?
Yeah.
Huh?
Dude, it's like
You don't want to
wanna
walk around
hug.
and have dad tell you that store used to be a Chase Bank? You don't like my conversation anymore?
What am I not interesting
Yeah.
to you? Just old?
Yeah.
Huh.
You don't want to hear me say, that guy?
Live from
You don't like when I knock on your door every day and I say, live from New York City. It's Los Angeles.
my lost dream. Did I tell you that I improvised that audition for SNL, my screen test in
When
front of
did you
Lorne Michaels
test for
and stuff?
SNL?
Before Wrecked, I think. It was right before Wrecked. It was probably like
How did they find out about you?
2017. My friend Sarah Schneider
Uh-huh.
put me.
Who was one of the people on the other two?
Yeah.
Great show.
What a lady. Yeah. Cool ass
Drew
lady.
Tarver, shout outs. Great show.
Totally.
Yeah.
And they is Drew Tarver in Deli Boys?
No, he's on the other two.
Oh yeah.
He's not on Deli Boys. I actually made that a point.
Yeah, you requested restrictions.
I said you, Drew Tarver, and
Yeah,
Michael
you
B.
said
Jordan.
me.
Those are my Michael B. Jordan. Those are my three.
No nos.
Cannot be on
Big
the show.
no-nos.
Yeah.
Can't even
Too
be in
talented.
Chicago.
Too talented. Yeah.
Taking
Yeah.
spotlight.
Yeah, I can't have any of you guys focus pulling on my show.
Schneider did that for
Yeah.
me. She put me in what are those called, dude? When they
Showcase?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she put me in a showcase.
In New York?
I did weird stuff. Nope, she put me in the showcase here. Then I flew to New York to shoot a.
Who else was
movie
on your
upstate.
showcase?
Allison Rich, who got it, who was hired as a writer that
Yes.
year.
So funny.
I think Pete Davidson got it that year.
Uh-huh.
So it
Pete
was that
Davidson,
long
yeah.
ago.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was it. They
It's
didn't.
like 8
they
years
didn't take
ago.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like 8 years ago.
And so when you go there to New York for the audition, they call you and they say, "Hey, Lauren wants to come see you."
no.
They
No,
go,
no,
"Hey,
no.
we want you to come test."
They called me while I was up shooting that feature upstate,
Uh-huh.
and they were like, "Hey, we want you to come test." And it was a lady who was really nice about it, but she was very specific.
Yeah.
She was like, "We liked what you did. Don't do the Al Pacino. Don't do the."
Because Hader
this.
was already doing it
Don't
on the
do-
show.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't. I have no idea. I haven't watched that show since way before.
You just don't watch TV,
I don't watch any TV.
which is like very on brand for you.
I don't watch it. I mean,
don't
I
watch anything?
Shit. Nope. I watched The Sopranos. I saw it.
Love that.
Good.
You're like, that's the newest show out.
Yeah. That's like as far
Have
as
you heard
I'm
that
concerned.
brand new show, Sopranos?
It's Comedy Central still the channel. That's yeah. I watched
Because
The
that kept you
Sopranos.
pure. You're like, I guess, I don't know. I don't understand why you don't want me to do Al Pacino, but
Yeah.
okay, fine.
I was like, sure. You got your own Al Pacino.
Uh-huh.
Fine. It's gonna be. It was good. You
Mhm.
should have. But she just told me the things not to do, and I was like, okay, kind of baffled by what do you
So
like
no
or what
Pacino.
do you want?
yeah.
She was like, no Pacino, no.
De Niro. None of the cast
Yeah.
of Heat. Yeah.
Yeah. She was like, don't do any. of
Stay.
your
You
Heat
did most of the
material.
cast of Heat, and we want to stay away from
But
that. Yeah.
dude, it didn't matter what she
Yeah.
advised.
You just did whatever you wanted.
I got up there. I didn't do Pacino, but I did do a Mark Maron impression that I don't have. I don't have a Mark Maron impression. I listened to one What the Fuck podcast on the way to the fucking to New York from upstate on a train, and I was like, I could do that.
Before Mark Maron was even like a.
Not even popular or successful.
So this
he
is
hadn't
like
done Obama.
This was early Maron, and you're like, I know Lauren listens to podcasts.
And isn't he like? Doesn't he have a horrible history with the SNL thing?
I don't know if he has a horrible history with
Or
it.
with
He just
Lauren or
has
something?
like a. He has said on his podcast he has a very deep fascination with that whole world.
Ain't much to be fascinated about.
He's
It
super
seems like
fascinated
a
about it.
churning ass.
Yeah.
I mean, the people that I know that have worked on it, and even just being there for that situation and being like, why does everybody make it hard? Like, why
So
does
when
everybody like put
Yeah.
you on to put you on and see if you can take it and all this
Yeah.
other shit? And it's like,
Like a hazing. So
I
when you go in the
guess.
room in New York, you go up the building, 30
yeah,
Rock.
I go up that building, dude. And then
You
30 Rock
pass.
never
Who was
talked to
there
me.
at the time? Was Fallon there?
You know who I saw? Peter Gross came. No, Fallon wasn't there. I don't think. It
Myers?
was like,
Was Seth Meyers there?
I think it was Seth Meyers. Yeah, Nick. Yeah, Pete Gross,
Okay,
Chicago.
yeah, Pete Gross,
came
yeah.
by. He said hi. Good luck, break legs. It was
Yeah.
really sweet of him.
And then you do your audition on the stage?
on the stage. So that was pretty
But
much.
no one's there.
To be honest, no, they were there. They're like off. The camera's live.
Why are
in
they
front
so
of
far
you.
in the back?
That's what I mean. And why make me have to penetrate like
No,
an
finish that thought.
extra?
Finish that thought.
Why?
No. Let's go ahead and
If
zoom in
I-
on this guy.
If I decide
Yeah.
sex is
Yeah.
sex is appropriate, why do you make me penetrate Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
Why
Okay, so
doesn't
they're
Lauren-
intentionally sitting in the shadows to psych you out,
I
like you're
guess.
showing up to a dojo.
You know what it's
And
like
you're
to
like-
be nice. You know what it's like to be
Yes.
nice.
Yeah.
And you know what it's like to be pressured. And you know what it's
Sure.
like to be like, and I get it. They see a lot of people and they don't want to be whatever. But I was like, man, that's stupid. Y'all are sitting in the dark and you're not laughing. I did it.
They didn't laugh at all.
They laughed one time.
When you said goodbye.
And I was like, I made that up. Assholes, bye. I didn't know what I was doing and I still don't. Bye. That's basically, dude, I had no idea. I knew I was going to do a Greek character.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I knew I didn't have any worked material or any. The thing was
so
like
you improvised.
the whole
You've
fucking
literally
thing.
improvised your whole life.
Yeah.
Your whole life,
Yeah.
no preparation.
No. And
Damn.
and it's really starting to not work out. It's really starting to take a toll because I should have some preparation about something.
You got to prepare a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah,
Why didn't I go
yeah.
in with a couple good things? But
Yeah.
I had. It was right around the time George Lopez. Remember George Lopez was found in a Vegas
casino?
Yeah, in a hallway.
He had passed out. He drank too much. He passed out.
Yes.
It was just a messy look.
I didn't even know why or
He
what.
was just drinking too much.
I just got on the stage.
Yeah.
I was like, this is George Lopez. And I got on the stage and I went face down and then I popped up real surprised. And then I did a George Lopez, but maybe it was not even a George Lopez.
That was, I think, the last year a white guy could do
yeah.
a George Lopez
Any
impersonation.
Lopez.
But you got in right at the last second.
I was like, okay.
And they can never take that away from you.
For my finale. This is me being racist, okay? But they laughed. Because I got up and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And then they laughed. They laughed a few times. And then it was like,
all right.
Cool. All right. Thanks, guys. And then you
yeah,
go
it sounds
back to your whole...
needlessly combative as an environment.
And then combative between, like...
It's like being on a first date. And if we were on a first date, I was sitting in the shadows.
Yeah.
Or I was looking at you through these.
Yeah.
And I go, tell me about yourself.
yeah.
And I had no response.
And you're not giving... Yeah.
And I go, you have to tell me about yourself? You cannot do an Al Pacino impression?
You only say the things you cannot do. You're like, tell me about yourself.
Yeah. And you cannot mention your childhood. Go.
Yeah.
Go.
It was weird. It was like it was sanitary in a place or in a way where I was like, not what I expected of an environment that I remember watching as a younger person and being like, whoa, these people are breaking ground, or these people are, watching the Farleys and the Sandlers and all of those people, or the Murphys.
And I also think that that's part of the reason why I think, it is such a wild place of like, I feel like sometimes people are like, get that job and they're like, I don't know. I can't really put my finger on as to why I got it, because it's not like there was a whole audience and I crushed.
Yeah.
Like with stand-up of like, oh my God, I like absolutely demolished kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, there were just like 6 people here and a couple of them laughed and I was like, okay. Like it seems like everybody who auditions for SNL leaves just as confused as they felt when they went in.
They make it challenging, but I will be.
Okay, so I feel like, if there were like things that you could change, would it be preparation?
I think so. It would be preparation to be feeling the confidence of like, yeah, I
got it.
I can prepare.
I've done this. This works.
Yeah. But I don't know why I don't trust that. I don't know. But yeah, I guess so. I guess preparation or...
I don't know, man. You not preparing has accomplished more than most people have.
Yeah, but...
Could ever have.
But it's also what I was going to tell you. I did an episode of Santa Clarita Diet.
Yeah.
I walked in.
Great show.
My friend Melissa got me the job. She was a writer. She's incredible, and I'm so grateful she did.
Yeah.
I show up to set to shoot it. Like I do stuff.
What was the part?
Guy... Like hippie guy that they don't think is a zombie, or they think it's a zombie, but he's not.
But he's not. Yeah.
There's zombies in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I ain't never seen a fucking minute of it. I don't even know Drew Barrymore was in it.
This is no preparation. So like you literally wouldn't even watch an episode just to get the vibe.
The only time I would ever do that is when I was flying back to Fiji or back to New York, and there was like season 3.
Yeah.
You have to be this guy again, and I was like, who's that?
Wow.
I did that last year. Who's Chet?
Just to hear it.
Who's Leaf? Yeah. I was like, okay. And I'd play like 45 seconds of the last episode of the season.
Give me another champagne. Got it.
I'd be like, got it. Cool.
Locked in.
Yeah. Orange juice all night. We got some shit to do. Unprepared.
Wow.
But Santa Clarita Diet, dude, I walked in and they were like, let's just do a walkthrough real quick.
Yeah.
Just do a blocking.
And you're like, I don't know.
And I was like, sure, yeah. Okay, I'll do blocking with the 2 stars, Drew Barrymore and Tim Oliphant.
Yeah.
And both super nice people.
Super nice people, yeah.
And I walked in. And we started doing
And they're
that.
like, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Our friend told us about you. Said you're super funny.
And I'm like,
here we go.
Bring under.
Yeah.
And we start the scene, and they walk up to the door, and I open the door, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And I bring them in or whatever. And I did what I do. I am saying what I say.
Yeah.
And I'm saying it to these 2.
And they're just like...
They honestly were both looking at me like, does he know we're starting? And I was like, well, I also stupid
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
What's going on?
What's you dumb ass?
They're like, does he know that there's a script for this
Writer
show?
comes over, director comes over immediately, and they're just
Immediately.
like, yeah,
Because
And
those two are very prepared people.
they're ready to go. They're ready to. They're already
Oliphant's like a drama
leaving.
guy. They're ready to go.
They're trying to leave, and he
Yeah.
even dude. There was a moment where he was just.
They're
like,
trying to do 2 takes and get the fuck out of here,
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah, they were ready to go home before.
Yeah, and
they
they're
even
gonna
got
bring
there.
it. And the only thing holding us back is
Is-
whoever the fuck this guy is.
Yeah, going like, boop, boop,
Yeah,
boop.
we gotta. There's a DoorDash guy here.
Y'all hired a DoorDash actor? Truly, I'm like, oh, like
Drug trying to come up to you and they go, hey, well, hey.
they're like, you can't do that. And I was like, I can't do what? And they're like, you can't say
Improvise.
stuff. You can't improvise. You can't say stuff that's not on the script. We do it. We're perfect. Did you not know that? And I was like, not know that. I wouldn't have come here.
Yeah.
I'd never done that. I've never done that, ma'am and sir.
Not know that. I don't even know that language.
Yeah.
What are you saying? Yeah.
I'm like, do you know it?
Wow.
That he sent me back to my trailer. I had 2 hours. I
To
did it
learn your lines like a
for the whole
child.
scene. Yep. And then I came back in and I was like, I have it now, sir. And then
So they were just waiting around like you're in daycare.
Yeah.
Like when you're working with the kid on set, they have like specific hours where like after 4 hours they have to go back to school. So they had to send you, a grown man, to essentially do that.
do that.
And then
Go
the
to school.
AD was like, yeah, George, this grown man just finally learned his lines. You know, his only job that we hired him for. And so they were just shooting the shit, realizing that they've wasted
Burning.
2 hours.
Yeah, they can't shoot anything else. We're on a soundstage. It's all set up. We're ready to go. So
And-
they're just like, we'll take lunch and then we'll give you another.
They took lunch, so you know they were talking shit while
Hell
they were
yeah.
eating their
They're
fucking
like, who's
delicious
this
food.
guy?
Ah.
Who's this guy? Tim Oliphant's like, I got to go to a baseball game. So and I'm like, sorry, pal. I don't know what you're talking about.
Shit.
Yeah.
And
It
we got
spit
this
me in
guy
the
who's
ass.
never seen TV before.
Yeah, he keeps not knowing.
Apparently, we got a Make-A-Wish guy.
He said he saw E.T.
Yeah,
Okay,
he won.
great.
He won some sort of sweepstakes.
Meet the stars.
So you learned the lines,
Yeah, we learned the lines.
and you
come
came
out,
back,
gave
and
it
then now
whatever.
you feel bad,
Yeah. And I just want to
and you feel ashamed,
And I don't want to perform. I want to
and the
get out of it.
vibe between you and them is not great
The
anymore.
only good thing that happened is I accidentally burped.
And they kept that.
And no, but Oliphant was just like, wow, that was really good. Did we get that? Hey, were you guys rolling on that? And he was talking about
The burp?
my burp, my indigestion. Because that's like,
He wasn't being sarcastic.
no. Hey, guys, he finally did.
That was really good. Yeah, did we happen to get that on camera?
Finally. DoorDash
Funny.
does good.
Yeah. Did you guys get a discount on that? Wow. Okay, so you
DoorDash.
did the take. You got it,
Yeah.
but you didn't leave being like, "Can we take a picture?" It was
Yeah.
like, "Get this guy.
Bro,
We gotta get to the next scene. Get
I
this
did
guy
this
fucking
to
out of here."
Drew It is Drew Barrymore at the end of it.
You tried high fiving.
Yeah.
What should she just look at you?
I tried to high five her, and I was just like, you're badass. That's cool.
No, it's actually Drew Barrymore.
It
Is
is
it?
Drew Barrymore. Is the lead of Santa
Really?
Clarita Diet
And Timmy Oliphant.
Timothy Oliphant?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Man, you saved us
That's
stuff a
right.
bunch of ADR time. Yeah. Okay, so Drew Barrymore, you went up to her and you were like,
And I tried
high
to
five.
high
You
five
tried to
her.
high five her. You put your
Yeah.
hand up.
And she looked at me, and I was like, you're badass. You're great. And she just like looked at me, and then looked at my hand, and then looked at me, and she was like, you're great. You're great too. And it was everything was just.
She gave you
pointing
a
towards, like,
nice to meet you. Get the fuck away
get
from
out of here. Yeah. Everything was just pointing towards like, get out of here.
me.
You held it too
You
long.
held this whole.
Yeah.
150
my
person
daughter
crew.
is at horseback riding or some shit, and I gotta get her. She's stuck on a horse.
Wow.
Yeah.
My daughter just Apple paid for another horse.
Great. Yeah.
Wow.
I know. And it happened one
So
other
what did
time.
you feel after that? When you were in
Shame.
your car,
Shame.
you're driving back for like
Shame,
whatever 40
shame,
minutes
shame,
from Santa
shame.
Clarita.
Find a hole, dig it.
You're
up.
like, fuck. What
Yeah.
the fuck am I doing?
I have to
What is
just.
wrong with me?
I felt horrible. I mean,
Yeah.
it felt the same way with Curb. Like there are just jobs where
You're just like,
you
what
end
am
up
I
on it,
doing?
and you're like, I don't. Why is this?
Yeah.
This is what I have to do. This is what I'm lucky to
Mm,
do.
mhm.
This is how it has to go.
Yeah.
But man, the more I look around,
Why does my dream hurt so much?
Yeah, why is this dream such a nightmare, y'all?
I've
Y'all
had that
are
after stand-up
dipshits.
shows where like you do a show, especially if it's your show. And you just
Meaning
eat
you
shit.
host? No, meaning you headline.
Yeah,
your
yeah.
show,
You do a
yeah.
show and it just you just eat shit,
Yeah.
and then you get back and you have to pretend you're like people are everyone's lying to you. You're walking by.
Yeah, they're like, great
The
job.
truthful people in the audience
Like,
are just like looking at their bill again closer. You walk by and they're just looking at the bill closer. And then, taking another drink of an empty cup. They're like, oh, yeah. And then it's, oh, God. Then they'll come up to your opener and be like, you did great. And then you walk by and they're like, then it's just kind of like doing what Drew Barrymore did to you with the high five. Like, yeah, keep going. Okay. Somebody said keep going to me. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And
you're like, well, what'd I do? End it? You think I should suicide because of one?
I have my Like I already set up the noose. He's like, keep going. Yeah. And I have like my to-go food, and you can sense it sometimes. Like the first show sucked. And you're like, oh, okay. Second show, you're like, I told my sometimes I tell one time I told the opener like, order me a bunch of chicken wings and put it in a plastic bag and leave it in the room.
Be out of here, dude.
And right when my set was done, I was like, good night. And it's just like this kind of clap of just like, like it's all sparse kind of thing. It's like, wow, you guys couldn't even come together as a community to decide. Wow, what should we leave on, dude? We've learned a lot.
Yeah.
Insights.
Very, very. We've gone over
story
about 16 years of life. And how I completely walk into rooms.
Do you have anything you want to tell the people that DM me about acting?
Yeah.
Go ahead, take any camera you want. But this is just simple advice to
here it is.
People who are, just want to get into acting or the arts or want to get out.
Yeah. Okay. They want to get in or they want to get out. Here's my advice. It's never not going to happen until you stop it completely. Okay? So stop it or don't. But don't come at me. And if you are ever opposite me, don't come at me. Come into show business if you want, but I will be your worst enemy. You ever seen me on a set? I'm coming for you. But keep going. Keep going.
Oh, God. Hey, what more do you want? How much clearer can he make it for you?
It's easy. You'll love it.
You want it? Come here. The door will be locked. What do you want from us?
Cameras will alert me to your arrival, and dude,
that's it. What more do you want? People, what more do you want? We've given you everything. History, comedy, failures, successes, motivation. A dog who's pissed. God.
We got it all. We got
George,
fruits,
I love you.
lavender.
This is incredible.
I love you. That's going to sound so
Bye.
I think your audience can tell.
Yeah.
I read.
Big hip hop heads. Yeah. Take it from two guys in a park.
Sitting on a blanket under a tree. We go hard. Why do you think we're on the streets?